Nerderotic.com.
Well, I just finished a live stream and I came across this article on Bounding into Comics. And it looks like Terminator Dark Fate is starting their movement marketing campaign early by playing identity politics hard. And we have the Herminator. Here we go from Bounding into Comics. Terminator Dark Fate director Tim Miller on Mackenzie Davis's character. We do not trade certain gender traits for others. Terminator Dark Fate director Tim Miller declared that the film will not trade certain gender traits for others in regards to Mackenzie Davis's character. He also noted her character will scare the F out of closeted misogynists. In an interview with Variety, Miller discussed the upcoming 6th installment of the Terminator franchise. The tired and played out Terminator franchise. And yes, I know Jim Cameron's name is in the credits, and that doesn't mean anything to me. He's not directing it. Now, I liked Tim Miller's Deadpool, but I don't like what I'm hearing now, and it looks like we're getting more of the same as we got from Captain Marvel and Batwoman, and it almost sounds like they're trolling us to get some kind of controversy, to get somebody talking about this film, because I don't think anybody really truly cares. He began the interview by answering a question about how he plans to win over Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con. Miller answered in part, I really wanted to see Linda Hamilton come back to personally continue her story as Sarah Connor, something I am not against. Like James Cameron, I always find that stories about women are much more interesting than men picking up guns. I'm confused by that statement, especially by the director of Deadpool. Is he more interested in seeing women pick up guns or men? Or is he more interested in stories about women over men picking up guns? Says the action film director. Because when I go to an action film, I don't want to see men picking up guns. Jim's movies are grounded in reality and character and just happen to have time travel and robots. I'm wired the same way. I want to give the audience a story about Sarah and these new characters and make everything else as realistic as possible. I want to sit in the audience and believe that this stuff could happen to me. That's how I'm approaching it. And this is the best example of Hollywood running out of ideas. They've already gender swapped the Terminator, so they're going to do a gender neutral Terminator that's now a cyborg built by the good guys, but it's still a Terminator. Then why don't you just come out with an actual robot? Why don't you have the skeleton running around? And that way, nobody can guess what gender it is, and everybody's represented by nobody being represented. And here's some proof that they ran out of ideas. Miller then went on to discuss how the idea of Mackenzie Davis's character, Grace, comes about. He details that he actually brought in a group of novelists to brainstorm ideas for the film before they even brought in screenwriters. Hollywood is out of ideas. He indicates that Joe Abercrombie, author of the First Laws series, pointed out that the Terminator films tend to have a trinity of main characters. One of those is the Protector, the Kyle Reese character portrayed by Michael Biehn in the original, Jay Courtney and Anton Yelchin in sequels. Miller went on to detail the new idea behind the Protector character. So they bring in these novelists, they bring a bunch of coke in the office, they have a bunch of lunch. I'm just kidding about the coke, only kind of. And they go, okay, we've got these trinity of characters. Gender swap them. I'm a genius. Where's my check? Miller went into detail about the new idea behind this Protector character, and I'm sure it will have nothing to do with intersectional feminism or the patriarchy. Joe came out with this idea that the new Protector from the future is a machine fighter. It's a painful life, and they're scared and take a lot of drugs to combat the pain of what's been done to them, probably by some evil men. They don't live a long time. It's a very sacrificial role. They risk death to save others, and from the very first suggestion, it was always a woman. Wow, that is such a surprise. That is so cutting edge. That has never been done before, not even within this franchise. Tim Miller would then respond to the question about the backlash the film received following the early Dark Fate poster and how Davis's Grace will be received at Comic-Con. If you're at all enlightened, I am not as enlightened as the coke-fueled brains of Hollywood. She'll play like gangbusters. If you're a closeted misogynist, she'll scare the F out of you because she's tough and strong but very feminine. Man, this reeks of desperation. They want to gaslight the fandom this early, and they had to bring in outside people to come up with this idea. I don't find it very intimidating or feminine, but I guess we'll see when the film comes out. But it's not Hall H you need to impress. Hall H got impressed by snakes on a plane. Miller would add, "We did not trade certain gender traits for others. She's just very strong, and that frightens some dudes." Actually, it's just cringy. He would then specifically address some of the online responses he's seen. You could see online the responses of some of the early stuff that's out there. Trolls on the internet. I don't give an F. And you shouldn't give an F about the trolls, but you should listen to some of the criticism because you're not breaking any new ground here. You're not breaking ground within this franchise. You're just going to give us a Terminator movie that's really filled with a bunch of partisan politics and political messages and agenda, and you're not going to probably entertain us very much. Now, I haven't seen the film. I saw the trailer. Everything looked dark. The special effects look bad, but it could be early, and maybe we'll be blown away by this. Or maybe it'll just be another bad Terminator movie. Terminator's trinity of characters. Given that Miller was open about the idea of the protectors and the trinity of characters, it's possible it could lead credence to the theory that Terminator Dark Fate will be removing John Connor and will instead replace him with Natalia Reyes' Danny Ramos. However, it's possible Ramos might be another leader of the Resistance and the Terminators have given up on trying to take down John Connor. This idea was explored in Terminator 3 before the Terminator discovered John Connor. If you pay attention to the first trailer, the idea of the trinity of characters sticks out like a sore thumb when Linda Hamilton's Sarah Connor indicates she cares so much about Danny Ramos because she was her. Despite the fact Tim Miller is involved and James Cameron is producing, and he endorsed the last Terminator movie, so that doesn't mean much to me. It just sounds like they're going to get rid of John Connor, and we have replacement messiahs within the Terminator canon, which is pretty muddled anyway. So why not just reboot it outright? Well, you can't, because you have to make it count, and they're wasting the return of Sarah Connor, and it's not going to count. It's just going to go further in destroying this franchise that really isn't a franchise. It's a Arnold Schwarzenegger action film, and the only time they've ever successfully done anything, in my opinion, with Terminator is the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Go see it. It has female empowerment, but more importantly, it has a good story, and it's worth the watch. This, I will review it, but I know what I'm going to be getting on this one, and so do you. So hopefully this gets played out, because again, we're not breaking any new ground here. As a matter of fact, we're driving the Terminator franchise further into the ground. I guess this is another panel I have to attend at San Diego Comic-Con, which I will be at all 4 days, and I will be live streaming from San Diego. So please tune in for that. Go to nerdrotic.com for my live stream schedule, and may the free folks sing songs of your greatness.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.